the withdrawal from the bank account, we had a limit of 10,000 rupees per day, subject to a maximum of 20,000 rupees per week. We found that the same person had to visit the bank branch twice. It was inconvenient for the public. It was also unnecessarily increasing the accumulation of people, the crowd at the bank branches. So both for public convenience, convenience of the customers, and also to reduce the crowd and the congregation of people near the bank branches, it has been decided, as you would know, to remove the 10,000 limit per day and to have only a weekly limit, which is enhanced now to rupees 24,000. Sorry, 24,000. I'm sorry, 24,000 rupees. And so therefore a customer can visit the bank just once a week and draw 24,000 rupees. The exchange of cash, old high denomination currency over the counter, has also been, the facility has been enhanced from the current limit of 4,000 rupees to 4,500 rupees. This has been done mainly to ensure that people are able to get currency notes of smaller denominations also. And when 4,500 rupees are dispensed, it is the expectation that roughly 4,000 would be in 2,000 rupees notes and the remaining would be in smaller denomination currencies. As you know, the 500 rupee notes have also been now infused into the system, and the distribution of 500 rupee notes against cash or from bank accounts has started yesterday. The ATM limits similarly have also been increased to 2,500, but let me mention very clearly, 2,500 limit will apply only to the recalibrated ATMs. In other words, ATMs which have been recalibrated to dispense higher denomination notes of 500 rupees and 2,000 rupees. Only in those cases the limit has been enhanced to 2,500. With regard to current accounts, government got a lot of representations from small businesses, from small business entities, that they were finding it difficult to disburse the daily wages or the weekly wages to the workers, to their workers, and also they were finding it difficult to make sundry payments. We are comfortable with regard to the availability of cash. It has also been decided to increase the limit in respect of business entities having current accounts, and such current accounts which are operational for at least 3 months. For the past 3 months, for them the limit has been increased to rupees 50,000 per week. This will enable them to disburse wages to their workers and also to carry out the sundry transactions. Again, to strengthen the supply of cash through the banking system, the district central cooperative banks also will receive cash to facilitate withdrawal from the accounts held by customers in the district central cooperative banks. The next network is through the e-payment mechanism. I have mentioned about ATM, but specifically through the e-payment mechanism, it has been decided that government departments and central public sector undertakings would be advised to do maximize their payments through the e-payment mechanisms, and the government departments and central public sector undertakings are being advised to carry out all their transactions through e-payment mechanism and only to resort to cash drawal from banks and cash disbursement in totally unavoidable or very, very exceptional cases. So that will also reduce the pressure on the banks, reduce the pressure on the cash disbursement to the public. With regard to the National Payment Corporation of India, the Reserve Bank has already advised the National Payment Corporation of India to waive its transaction charges in respect of various transactions which are settled by the through the what they call the National Financial Switch system, to waive the transaction charges. In other words, it will be less costly now for all transactions done through which are settled by the National Payment Corporation of India. Similarly, the banks are also being advised to waive their charges in respect of the various transactions through the debit, credit card, etc. Then finally, with regard to enhancing the public convenience, as you know, government has already announced that there shall be separate queues for the senior citizens and the Divyang persons. There will be a separate queue for customers visiting bank branches to do transactions against their bank accounts, and there will be a separate queue for such people who visit the banks only for exchange of notes, that is submission of old notes and receiving the new notes. So there will be separate queues for each category so that the operations at the banks is streamlined. And with regard to, again, keeping in view the necessity to reduce the crowd at the bank branches, and also keeping in view the need of senior citizens, the annual life certificate which is required to be given by the pensioners during the month of November every year, the time limit has been extended up to 15th of January. And finally, the exemptions which have been granted by the government, that is cases or transactions where acceptance of old 500 rupee notes or 1000 rupee notes have been permitted or were permitted for a temporary period up to 14th November midnight, that has been extended to 24th November midnight. And this will cover all the categories. I repeat, this will cover all the categories, namely the petrol and diesel bunks, the payments in the pharmacies, the payments to the utilities, water and electricity utilities. And when we say pharmacies and water and electricity utilities, a question was raised whether also it includes private units. Yes, it does. It includes private pharmacies, it includes private discom companies also. But in respect of discom companies, as we have already said earlier, it will be for payment of bills of individuals and households in respect of their arrear bills and in respect of their current bills, and not for payment of advances. I would like to conclude by saying that the RBI has informed the meeting yesterday, chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister, that enough cash is available in the system and there is absolutely no reason for the public to feel any kind of panic. And in the days to come by, the supply of cash through various networks, through various channels, as I have explained, will be improved, and I think the situation will ease out in the coming days. Again, I would like to reiterate that enough cash is available with the Reserve Bank of India and with the entire system, and there is absolutely no reason for members of the public to feel any kind of panic. Thank you.
One by one, please.
Cash is available, sir. Cash is available, sir, but the problem is the supply.
तो इस वक्त की बड़ी खबर आपको बता दें, आर्थिक मामलों के सचिव शक्तिकांत दास प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे, जिसमें सरकार ने कई महत्वपूर्ण बदलाव किए हैं नियमों में, जिसमें बड़ा बदलाव ये कि आप पहले एटीएम से 2000 रुपए निकाल सकते थे, उसके बदले अब आप 2500 रुपए बदल सकते हैं। बैंकों में अब तक 18,000 करोड़ का लेन देन हुआ है, ये भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कहा है आर्थिक मामलों के सचिव।
देखिए, टोटली जो है 2 लाख के आसपास एटीएम्स है, और उसमें से आप जो कह रहे हैं सही कह रहे हैं, कुछ एटीएम्स में शायद वो जो 100 रुपए का नोट जो दे रहे थे, 100 और 50 रुपए के नोट्स वो नहीं पहुंचे थे। लेकिन अभी उसका जो टास्क फोर्स है, वो टास्क फोर्स उनके मीटिंग आज या कल शुरू कर देंगे, वो एक डिटेल्ड एक्शन प्लान बनाएंगे, फिर उसके बाद आपका जो नंबर आप मांग रहे हैं उसको हम दे पाएंगे। 4-5 क्वेश्चन।
Supply may be a problem in the distant areas, but what we are experiencing is that certain branches in CP, Janpath also, like Yes Bank branch in Janpath,
One at a time, please.
Ran out of cash day before yesterday at 5 o'clock in the evening. So what explains this situation at a time when the government is maintaining that there is enough cash in the system?
You see, we are replenishing the cash as and when. Currently, please remember that only 100 rupee notes are dispensed through the ATMs. Each ATM carries 4 trays. Earlier, out of the 4, 3 trays carried 1000 rupee notes and 500 rupee notes. Those 3 trays have been emptied because the old notes have to be taken out, and in that place new trays have to be installed. The hardware and the software will have to be recalibrated, tested and retested to ensure that there is no error or there is no mistake, money doesn't get jammed or more notes do not come, or when you are asking for, when you are drawing a particular amount, you don't get the full cash. So only one tray is being used, and in one tray there's a limited 100 rupee notes which is given, which gets exhausted. The banks are trying their best to replenish those in those trays. Therefore, the ATMs are getting exhausted. But it has been reported. It has been reported, subject to verification. All of you are in the field. But it has been reported that there are several cases where the same people are coming back again and again and adding to the queue. That is a difficulty which we have to deal with, and we have to discuss.
One by one. Please, one question.
Sir, आपने banking correspondence की बात की थी.
Sorry?
Mr. Jaitley said it will take about 2 to 3 weeks for the situation to get normal. PM is saying 50 days. Why is there such a conflicting?
No, there is absolutely no conflict. There is absolutely no conflict. The Honorable Prime Minister referred to the date of 30th December. That is the time limit given for, submission of old notes. The Prime Minister's reference was to that. The Finance Minister's reference was specifically relating to the ATMs alone. And as I mentioned, to expedite that and to compress that time schedule even further.
तो आपको बता दें, कई महत्वपूर्ण बदलाव हुए हैं जो इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के जरिए बताए गए हैं। बड़े बदलाव यही है कि 2000 की जगह अब आप एटीएम से 2500 रुपए निकाल सकते हैं। इसके अलावा यह भी कहा गया है कि आरबीआई के पास कैश की कोई कमी नहीं है। ये कहा है आर्थिक मामलों के सचिव शक्तिकांत दास ने। इसके अलावा जो बदलाव हुए हैं, पहले आप हफ्ते में बैंक से 20,000 निकाल सकते थे, अब ये सीमा जो बढ़ाकर 24,000 कर दी गई है। इसके अलावा एटीएम जो है, कई माइक्रो एटीएम भी जगह जगह पर लगाए जा रहे हैं। कई बदलाव किए गए हैं। जो सीमा पहले पुराने नोटों को चलाने की जरूरी जगहों पर थी, वो अब बढ़ाकर 10 दिन थी ये सीमा, अब इसे 24 तक कर दिया गया है। एक छोटा सा ब्रेक ले रहे हैं, फौरन हाजिर होंगे। देखते रहिए न्यूज़ 24।